Hi there. I am Stat Man Stubbs, and this is the Red Sea podcast. It's Thursday night, 8 p.m., so that's another preview, a rival's point of view. Obviously, we're going to be previewing Liverpool versus Chelsea this coming Saturday, 5:30 kickoff. I will go into the guests in just a moment, but we are going to be going on the head-to-head. Liverpool's danger men, Chelsea's danger men, formations, season so far, also predictions, thoughts on managers, and we'll get into the chat. But before we do all that, let's roll with the intro.
Tell the world we are Liverpool, champions of England.
We've conquered all of Europe. We're never gonna stop. From Palestine to Turkey, we've won the fucking lot. Got Paisley and the Shankly, the fields of Anfield gold. We are unsupported, and we come from Liverpool.
Hi guys, and like I say, welcome to the Red Sea podcast. I'm joined with two Chelsea fans. First of all, we've got Ben on from SW6 Lions TV. How are you, Ben, mate?
I'm all good, mate. I'm all good. Looking forward to Saturday. Can't wait.
Yeah, definitely. And we've got Matt on as well. Matt, how are you doing, mate?
Yeah, all good. Same as Ben. Very excited for the weekend. Should be a good game. Hoping for a bit of a thriller as well.
Yeah, ready for round two as well, because I was on obviously SW6 Lions TV yesterday, so it was good. It's good to get on that. Guys, obviously in the chat, if you are new, please go over to SW6 Lions TV, give them a like and subscribe. Coming up with quite a lot. Got a lot of subscribers already, so please obviously give them a like and subscribe. And Matt, do you have a channel yourself?
I don't. I'm going to be sort of doing it with Ben for his channel as well. So we're kind of doing it together now. He's got me on board.
He's a new member.
Board.
Yeah.
Under his wing.
Under your wing. But yeah, just obviously we'll drop your Twitter handles in after this as well. So if anyone is new to it all, then they can obviously follow you on Twitter, and then all the links will be there anyway to get your subscribers up as well as ours. So anyone in the chat that's new to our channel as well, please obviously go and like and subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a moment. Just going into the chat, we've got a gentleman, Breffin John. Welcome, Breffin. He's one of our regulars. Greetings to good people. Hope you're well, and big up the panel. So we'll go into it first of all, because like I say, we're here to discuss Liverpool versus Chelsea. Massive game. Lots of obviously games were played against each other. So first of all, we're going to go for the head-to-head record. I'm just going to run through the last 5 fixtures at Anfield just to give you some sort of idea of where we're at, really. Obviously, the most recent one in March 2021, Chelsea got the upper hand on us, won 1-0 with Mason Mount. Obviously, in all fairness, as much as I hate to say this, they deservedly won the game. One of the better teams that actually came to Anfield and won. So hats off to them. The next game was the title-winning game at Anfield. Obviously, Liverpool had already won the title, but it was the last game. Just a shame we didn't have any fans in front of it. That was the 5-3 game. Do you remember that one?
Nah, mate, sorry.
No.
No idea. No idea what you're on about.
Yeah, I do remember.
Not a clue. It was actually a really entertaining game to watch, to be fair.
It was in a game of how not to defend. It was just attacking football. But, it was a game of how not to defend. And then obviously after that, it was 2-0 to Liverpool again. Mo Salah scored. Can't remember who scored the other one, but I know Mo scored a cracking goal against Kepa in the second half.
No, it was Salah worldie from about 30 yards.
Yeah, 2-0 though, wasn't it?
Oh yeah,
it was
sorry,
2-0.
and Mane, yeah.
Salah scored the worldie, but I think you might be right. I think it might have been Mane actually that got the first goal.
Yeah.
And then it was the 2 games after that were both finished 1-1. So as you can see, the games are obviously very, very tight when it comes to playing Chelsea. It's not going to be a cricket score or anything like that. So, I mean, obviously we're not going to do predictions just yet, but I mean, are you feeling confident going into the game? I'll come to you, Matt, first of all.
I think I feel confident for sure. Obviously, the way we're playing at the minute, obviously, we're looking pretty strong, pretty dangerous as well. Obviously, literally in the last couple of hours, we've picked up quite a few awards at the UEFA Awards as well. So I feel like the players are going to have quite a bit of confidence going into the game as well. Like Mendy, keeper of the year; Jorginho, midfielder of the year. Player of the year; Tuchel, coach of the year. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of awards there, so I feel like that could even spur the players on a bit more. But I think based on our form in the last 2 games, I know it's obviously against Palace and Arsenal who aren't the strongest opponents, but I think you can definitely take confidence from that. And yeah, we look pretty strong, to be fair, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm pretty confident.
Yeah, and same question to you there, Ben.
I'm very confident actually. I've sort of overnight, I don't know what's happened, but this is a weird one. But I was walking my dog around the park today, right? And I thought to we're looking forward to Saturday. I'm thinking, I hope you agree with me, Matt. I think, now this is a big one, I think our midfield's better. If you think about centre defensive midfield, Jorginho and Kante, I do think they're one of the best 2 in the world at the minute. And then we go to our forward, like we've got Lukaku, like he's a proven goal scorer. But then defensively, I would say probably Liverpool just have the edge. But then again, we've been defensively, we've been unreal. So I can only see a Chelsea win at the moment. But obviously, it might all change. Because I'm normally quite, not negative, but I'm normally against, like, I'm normally like, if it goes wrong, then I always fault it. But I'm very confident. I'm very confident, I must say.
Fair enough. So that just touches on obviously the next subject, danger men for both teams. Obviously, with us playing Chelsea, we'll go with the Chelsea danger men first of all. So Ben, I'll come back to you. Who do you see being the danger men for Chelsea in this game coming up?
It might be a better question to say, who isn't the danger man? I think Lukaku, I know obviously you said last night you wasn't really worried about him, but I think he's going to show up on Saturday. And then I think the midfield battle's huge, because I was thinking as well, like we play a similar style, don't we? So we both want to keep the ball, we both press. And I think the midfield battle's massive, obviously Kante and Kovacic. And I think you got Mount. I think that's what I mean with this year. It's not just we're not just picking one person out. It's all around the pitch. We can get goals. So I'm quite. I could name you 5 or 6. So that's why I'm quite confident going in. I think with the sign of Lukaku as well, we get early crosses into the box. Lukaku's there, and I just think it could be a good game. But I think Lukaku for sure. Kai Havertz, I thought he was amazing against Arsenal. Just finds little pockets of play, just gets the ball and plays it through to Lukaku. So I think them 2 you've really got to watch out for. What do you reckon, Matt? I think them 2 are up top are unreal at the minute.
Mine's actually really different. Obviously, Lukaku, you've got to talk about Lukaku being the danger man. But I actually think Timo Werner is going to start, and I think he actually is going to be the dangerous one in this. And the reason I say it is because you look at the way we were playing against Arsenal when we were putting the ball into Lukaku's feet, and the way he was drawing out the centre-backs, drawing out the defenders, and leaving so much space in behind for the likes of Havertz, Mount, Reece James to exploit in behind. I feel like Werner's like the perfect person for that because of the pace he got on him. Obviously, you can't really compare Arsenal's backline to Liverpool's backline because it's two different classes. But I actually think Lukaku is going to be like the main danger man. And obviously the midfield battle, like Ben said, is going to be really, really tough. But I do think if Werner starts, which I have a feeling he might, I actually think he could be the one to watch out for, purely for the fact of when we came to last season, it was him that was the one that was constantly getting in behind all the time. And so I just feel the way. Do you know,
I
see,
don't,
I think
who did you take out from Arsenal?
I think I have a feeling he comes in for Havertz, just pure, not because based on bad performances. I think just based on sort of rotation. You look at the players we've got so many different options, and I just think that Tuchel might prefer to play with Werner and Lukaku with like Mount in behind. I feel like it could just work a little bit better against Liverpool than playing Havertz and Mount either side of Lukaku on his own in the middle. I think that's just my opinion. Obviously, I'm not Tom Tuchel. He could be thinking something completely different. But I think if they exploited that well, the pace that Timo Werner's got is obviously it could be dangerous. But it's just his finishing that lets him down.
I've got this thing with Timo Werner. Like he gets into good space, he makes the good runs, but he just and this is confidence with him because his touch is so poor. It takes him out. Like he's supposed to be going towards the goal, he takes it outside, and he can't finish at the minute. And it's frustrating, but I get your point, Matt, as well, running in behind totally. But I do think Havertz has to start this game, in my opinion. Because I think the way he played against Arsenal, just watching him, he's unbelievable. But as you said, like he could always play on the left, couldn't he, Werner? But then obviously he's going to have to leave Mount out. That's what I mean. Tuchel's got a good headache, isn't he?
Yeah, so he's got a lot of options, and it's not like it's Arsenal where it's like who do you bring in and who do you drop out and who's playing that bad. It's a case of who can we bring in and look at the numbers we've got to bring in, and there's so many different players. And I just think with the variety of players we've got, I feel like there's better suited systems for better teams we're playing. And I personally just think it's the better system to play against a team like Liverpool, having Lukaku's like big, powerful striker alongside someone like Timo, who's really quick and rapid on his feet. You don't forget how many assists Timo Werner got last season as well. So that could even play effect when he got in behind and then put it across the box for the likes of Ziyech, Mount, Havertz coming in. You think if he's getting in behind and putting that ball on a plate for Lukaku inside the box, for me, it's a goal every time.
Yeah,
okay. Just valid points there. Well done, guys. But there's just a few comments here. Funny how Chelsea think their midfield is the best, as they forget the last time Fabinho played as centre back. This time it'll be different. It'll be Thiago, Fabinho, and Henderson. Just touching on what you said about Werner. Obviously, last time, very true that he got a lot of space and he got in behind Liverpool's backline. But then Liverpool's backline that day, I think, was Reece Williams and Fabinho was just coming back from injury. So is he realistically going to get that sort of space up against a back two, obviously, of Van Dijk and Matip? Is he going to realistically get that space? Ben, I'll come to you first.
What, Werner?
Yeah.
Yeah, I personally wouldn't play Werner. I don't think he'll start, but I do get Matt's point where he could run in behind. But yeah, I think Tuchel will play Lukaku up top on his own, then he can hold it up, play Havertz and Mount in behind. So yeah, that's Werner. I haven't even thought about Werner playing. It's weird. Yeah. That's what I mean. That's how like strong we are, really. Yeah. When we haven't even mentioned Ziyech, Pulisic, obviously Werner as well. He's got so many options. But if it was down to me, I'd play Lukaku, then Havertz and Mount, because as you said, I don't think Werner will get that space in behind.
Yeah,
I think you got to bully him. Obviously, Van Dijk will probably be up to the challenge as well. So that's why I think that's going to be a great battle then too.
Yeah, definitely. Just another comment here. Sorry, Ben, what were you saying? Sorry, mate.
Go on.
Sorry. So Lukaku is an elite player and a known goal scorer, but mostly scores against small teams. Becomes missing in big games. With Virgil van Dijk fit and in top form, it's game on. Only issue is Hope Konate plays for speed. Yeah,
I don't know if Van Dijk's fit and in top form right now, though. I was going to say, with him just coming back and he's kind of just finding his form again. If I was Tuchel in the dressing room, if I'm Lukaku, I'm thinking I'm getting on him. I am on him from minute one, because you're putting Van Dijk right under it from minute one in the first big game that he's played since he's been injured, and it's only his third game back. He's not going to be like 100% match sharp as he was before he got injured back in the season before. And I just think if I'm Lukaku or Tuchel, if I'm Tuchel, I'm telling Lukaku, get on him straight away and put him right under that pressure, because if it will then prove whether he's up to dealing with it this early on from his return from that kind of injury.
I think Lukaku, I think that's quite harsh actually what that bloke said, because I think Matt will agree as well. Since he's come back, like at Inter Milan, he's obviously gone and smashed it. I don't think he's the same player as he was 3-4 years ago. And like you look at it again against Arsenal, like we're obviously putting Arsenal down, but it's a huge game. Like, and they're a big club. Arsenal are historically a big club. Like, it's a massive London derby, and he bossed it. He bossed their defenders. Like, he was the reason why we won that game. So I think it's obviously his time to prove that he can score against these big teams and can play in these big games. And I think he will. Like we Chelsea fans, we've had Costa and Drogba. Now apart from that, we're struggling really. We've always struggled to find a good forward. Like we got Torres off you lot, which he weren't great. But I think Lukaku, I think he is gonna be good this year. I do see it.
And I think if you look at our success in the past, when we've had that sort of big, beefy, built-up striker, Drogba, Costa, Drogba win the Champions League, win a few Premier Leagues. Costa wins the Premier League, wins won an FA Cup as well, I think. Or he might not have, I'm not sure.
Drogba.
But you look, Costa. But when we've got like big, powerful strikers, that's what Chelsea are about. We play so well with that big, powerful striker, and we've been missing that since Costa. We've not had that big, powerful striker since, and you notice how we've been struggling. Obviously, like we picked up a Champions League and whatever else since Costa's gone, but we've not been as dominant as we used to be with the likes of Drogba and Costa in their team.
Well, I've got a story for you. This was the start of last season, right? And we played Werner up front, and I always had my doubts about Werner being a forward in the Premier League because physically he's not really there. We played Brighton first game of the season, do you remember? And then apparently he came out after the game. It's like, God, all these defenders are really tall, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like, talking about like Lewis Duncan, and it's like that's what you're up against here.
Yeah, he said these are some of the most physical defenders I've ever played against.
Yeah,
like that.
Welcome to the Premier League.
It's a whole different league, but it's a whole different league. But I think it suits Chelsea as the way we play. No matter what manager we've ever had, with all the different managers, but when we've had a big, powerful striker, that's what we've played with so well. When we've had that big, strong, beefy striker, no matter what manager's been at the club, we've always played well. So I think, like Ben said, it's Lukaku's time to prove himself now, isn't it? Playing and scoring and scoring against big teams, but only time will tell. But I think that's a bit harsh, and I think Lukaku, I've got him down to get top goal scorer, to be honest.
Yeah, fair enough. Just another question here as well from Breffen. Appreciate your comments. Keep them coming. Danger men for Chelsea will be Kante's. The game will either be won or lost to midfield. And yes, we're touched upon that. Obviously, it's a massive battle when you think. Generally, it'll probably be Kante, Kovacic.
Jorginho. The only thing with Kante is he will be a danger man, but he's not really our danger man. He's sort of to stop Liverpool. If you're talking about danger men on the ball and stuff going to score, he's sort of going the other way, like breaking the play up from you lot. Which he
does everything that you need to do in the midfield, but he does it. He just does it, and he does everything. He does the sort of scrappy, dirty stuff in the middle, and I think, like Ben said, the danger men will be when the likes of Mount, Werner, Havertz, whoever plays, Lukaku, when they start picking up the ball in those pockets and that space. That'll be our main. I get what that guy's saying. Kante is obviously I'd say our best player on the pitch, but he's the stuff that no one else wants to do. He'll run one end to the pitch without moaning, and he'll get there and he'll make the tackle 9 times out of 10. So he does the stuff that no one else does, and I think
cool, no problem. Let's just touch upon the next thing that we're going to touch about, which is formations. So, Matt, I'll come to you. First of all, what is a likely formation that Chelsea will play against Liverpool on Saturday?
It's probably the 3-4-3 is what we've been playing, what's been working so well. So we've obviously got our the three centre halves, obviously the two wing backs, the two central midfielders, and then it's almost like Tuchel plays with like two number 10s almost just behind the striker. Which those two 10s have the freedom to drift wide, play narrow, drop deeper, and play higher. So they've got that total freedom of a number 10, but we've obviously just got two of them. I think I really like when Chelsea play three centre backs. I think it is probably the formation that suits us the best, and the reason is because we've done so well, especially in recent times when like we had Conte in charge, and now obviously Tuchel, when we play wing backs, because they can get so high up the pitch and then create so much danger in that attack. But we know that we've still got like the three defenders like where they need to be. And obviously, like we've touched on Kante, he'll always be there sweeping up and travelling all over the place. So I think it'll be the 3-4-3, and I think it just works so well for us, especially at the minute with the players we've got. With the likes of like Reece James and Ben Chilwell going down each wing, they're so dangerous players. They can put in decent crosses either side. And when you've got a player like Lukaku in the middle who can win a header and give it a bit of argy-bargy and a bit of a shove in the middle, and he'll always battle for it all. But then, like even in the midfield, when you've got the creative players like Jorginho, I think he's one of the most underrated footballers in world football, not just in the Premier League. Because I think what he do when he plays in that sort of like pivot position where he can just pick the ball up, look one way, look the other, he controls play without even touching the ball at times, and can change the whole dynamic of a way a team's playing by just making one pass. It's ridiculous. So I think it will be a 3-4-3, and we're that's the most dangerous where we are, I think.
Fair enough. And just obviously coming on to you, Ben, you're obviously going to the game on Saturday. If you were in Thomas Tuchel's position and you had to name the team now, I'll put you on the spot. Who would be your starting eleven be?
Go on then.
Right, start with Kepa in goal.
Oh no! Right, get out. You've lost your job already.
We've got Mendy, Christensen, Rudiger, Azpilicueta, back three. Right. Because I like Thiago Silva. I think with their pace, I think it's better to play Christensen. My right wing back, Reece James. Left wing back, Chilwell. Right. Kante, Kovacic in the middle. And then I would go, as Matt said, I do like this two little number 10 floating things. What's that face for, Matty boy?
You've not put Jorginho in there.
Yeah, Kante, Jorginho. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I did mean Jorginho.
Kante, Kovacic.
Okay, cool. Sorry, if I said Kovacic, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. Then I'd have Havertz and Mount just in behind, then Lukaku. And obviously, when you said that, Matt, about the two floaters, the fullbacks, but then the wing backs just bomb on, don't they, and get us width. Yeah. So we just flood the box as well. That's one thing I've been looking forward to. But that's my team. If I said Kovacic, sorry, it was just in my head as well. But, obviously, Kovacic is a tough one because Jorginho, he gets about the pitch. Kovacic, he wouldn't be. Yeah. I wouldn't be gutted if he was starting. He gets around the pitch. He'll get in their face as well. Yeah, Kante and Kovacic ain't a bad little pivot either, to be fair.
No, fair enough.
Yeah, that would be my team. And then obviously, go on.
No, go on. That's fine.
And obviously, I don't know what the game plan will be, but even if we make it to half time 0-0 or 1-1, whatever, and then as we said yesterday, bring your Werners on. Bring Pulisic. I don't think Pulisic is in actually. I think he's got COVID, so I think he's out. Yeah, or he might be back. I'm not sure, but I think it's still a bit early. Then you got Ziyech is back as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I'm quite
got Hudson-Odoi that can come off the bench as well.
Yeah, I'm quite glad that Pulisic potentially isn't going to be playing because he seems to be a danger man against Liverpool. But just to go into the chat again, Brethan's bringing the questions. Appreciate it, mate. Chelsea will use the 3-4-2-1 versus the traditional 4-3-3 of Liverpool. As a Liverpool fan, I'm a bit confused as to whether Firmino or Jota starts. Jota will be ruthless in front of goal. Firmino helps the midfield. Yeah, I mean, obviously, with you guys being Chelsea fans, would you rather see your team Chelsea playing against Diogo Jota, or would you rather it be Firmino? I'll come to you first, Ben.
I don't mind. Actually. I'd probably say Jota. Like when I've seen Firmino, the games that I've watched him. This must have been because he wasn't really getting in your team. There was a period where he was like phased out, wasn't he, a little bit, and Jota was starting. But when Firmino was banging in goals, and he was really good, but he was like kind of like a false nine, like sort of Havertz was last year for us, Matt. But he drifts in, makes the defender think: do I go or do I stay? I think he's really clever. I think he's more clever than he is better on the floor. But I would probably prefer to see Jota.
Yeah,
I think. I don't know. That's a good question, actually. Really good question. If it was off the bat, I'd probably say Jota. But our back three has been really good. So hopefully with any of them. So
fingers crossed. Fingers crossed they have an off day on Saturday. There's a nice question actually, which I want to ask you too, because it's just get your take on it as well. With me not being so bad, well, obviously with me, I'd potentially be biased. So, if you had to choose a combined 11, also the formation to be used, these teams use different formations. So, again, great question, Brethren. Matt, I'll come to you first. If you were to name a combined 11, who would be your team and formation?
Combined 11. Well, this is a good one as well. I think I'd go 4-3-3. I think that's what I would play personally. But my midfield would be like 2 slightly deeper and then like a number 10. I think in goal.
Be sensible now, come on.
The thing, my argument would be, now I'll say it, I'm going to pick Alisson as my keeper. But
good choice.
Edu Mendy has just won UEFA Goalkeeper of the Year and has also kept, I think it's like 27 clean sheets in about 47 appearances. That for a goalkeeper is ridiculous.
Oh, hats off to him,
as his stats and considering where he came from and the fact that he wasn't playing at sort of an elite level club before, and he's come into a club like Chelsea and just nailed it down as one, and he's put a statement out as one of the best in the league now. But I still think because I think Alisson has done it for a longer period of time. So Alisson's been at that top level for like 2, 3, 4 years now. So I think I'm going Alisson in goal.
We know who your right back's going to be, Matt. We don't even need to debate that.
Going off last night, I'm going Reece James at right back.
Sure.
My 2 centre backs, I'd obviously go Van Dijk and Rudiger. I'd actually play as my 2 centre backs. I think that's a ridiculous centre back partnership. Left back, I would go Robertson. Personally, I think he's been like, it's a similar thing to Alisson. I think it's similar to Alisson. He's done it consistently now for the last 3 or 4 seasons, and I think he's just ridiculous.
You wouldn't go Alonso
back in the league. No, he doesn't get the bench, mate. He gets nowhere near this team.
I hope he does.
Going on to midfield, I would play my 2 slightly deeper midfielders.
This would be interesting.
I think I'd go. Oh no, so tough, isn't it?
Do you want me to help you out with this?
Kante's in there as one of them. 100%. I feel like he has to be. But then I'm torn between Henderson and Jorginho as the other side of CDM. I think I'm edging towards Jorginho personally.
Mate, that's not even a battle for me.
I think I'd go Kante, Jorginho as my 2 sort of deeper midfielders. And again, you ain't gonna like this one, Stephen, but I'm going Mason Mount in the number 10. He plays in my number 10 because I just think as well the way he does it. No, but I think the thing is with Mason Mount, and and I feel like he gets a lot of criticism, but that guy puts in 8 or 9 out of 10 performance every single game. Whether he gets as many goals and assists as others is up for debate, but he is so consistent every single week he will play. And the thing what he did was when he came into Lampard's team a couple of years ago, from that moment, from that first game that he played, he's been in there week in, week out, and every single week. I don't ever think I've ever seen Mason Mount necessarily have like a bad performance. There's games where he's kind of not stood out head and shoulders above others, but he would always be there or thereabouts. I've never actually can recall him ever having like a really bad game where I think, yeah, he'd be dropped next game. And I think Mason Mount in this Chelsea team, the fact that Mount is keeping out players like Pulisic, Ziyech, Hudson-Odoi, he was keeping out Havertz last season. He's keeping out Timo Werner. There's so many players behind Mason Mount in the pecking order at Chelsea, which is just why I think I would pick him as my number 10. And the fact he scored Anfield last year to win the game helps us out as well.
Not mention that.
And then I think moving on to my front three, I think this is pretty easy. I think you two will both agree with this one. I'd go Mane on the left, Salah on the right, and then I'd play Lukaku down the middle. I think that would be my complete combined 11. I think that's a pretty strong team. I don't think there's much differences for you two, to be honest. But let me know if there is.
I would, but I'll go with Ben first of all, just to see if he would you change anyone from that team that
in that 4-3-3 system. I think I would put Havertz into the Mount, and that's massive for a Chelsea fan to say that because everyone loves Mount, and I do as well. But I just think Havertz just a bit more creative than Mount, and I think that front three would probably feed off Havertz. Like he would find balls. But when you're saying about Mount assisting, like the Champions League final goal was like an unreal assist. Like and he works hard, but me and my dad was saying this the other day, like he's been off the ball for a little bit, like he's been very quiet. But as you said, Matt, he's putting in work. Like that doesn't mean he's not playing well. He's just been very quiet and he hasn't been popping up with goals and assists. But my only one I disagree would probably be Havertz instead of Mount. But it's not
minimal, much in it, yeah. And it's the same. The thing you said about like the hard work and stuff, that also is the same sort of thing for Timo Werner. I think he's struggling in front of goal and stuff, but that guy works and he works hard every single game he plays. He never stops, doesn't stop, and he never gives up. And obviously, yes, he's had his misses in front of goals and stuff, but I feel like it's never got to him like it would most.
I think he gets a bad name because obviously he was brought in as like to get us goals, wasn't he? But he ain't really doing that. He's more doing like an assist job. Like he came in to get goals and he ain't getting them.
I think people have got to accept that. Well, Chelsea fans have got to accept that he's not going to be that goal scorer for us, but he certainly does a lot for the club that I think rival teams don't notice what he does because obviously Liverpool United, City fans aren't sitting there watching Chelsea week in, week out. They're not watching him and what he does for the team. And I mean, bearing in mind, I'm pretty sure he scored 4 or 5 goals in the Champions League campaign last year. That's not bad for a Champions League campaign either. So I wouldn't like you said. I think he gets a lot of stick that I don't actually think he deserves as much of. Obviously, have the banner, take out players from missing open goals. That's part and parcel of it. But I think he gets a lot of stick, and people saying, especially the people that are saying we should sell him this summer. I think that's just stupidity from them fans, to be honest.
Great. Fair enough. I mean, obviously the midfield.
Here we go, Matt.
Here we go.
Midfield. No, I agree totally. Obviously, Kante's definitely got to be in there. He's a world-class player. And I think the player you left out, Fabinho, has to be in there as well. I think Fabinho and Kante, for me, are the 2 best players in their position in the world. So I would have Fabinho in there.
I can take Fabinho, but I've got something against Henderson. I can take Fabinho being in there because I think he's a quality player. But I thought
did he?
What's that?
He didn't celebrate in front of you like Trent.
No, he didn't. I just think Henderson's always been overrated in my opinion. But for Fabinho, I rate Fabinho highly actually. But he didn't celebrate in front of Henderson. No, it was only Trent.
Yeah.
I think the question with the question with combined 11s is it's so tight and it's so difficult to pick. Like the whole like me and Ben were saying about Mount and Havertz, there's barely anything in it.
Right, next week it could be completely different.
Well, exactly, but I think as well, like for Fabinho and Jorginho, you might not agree with me, Stephen, but I think it's not much in it with those two either. Same with the right back, Trent and Reece. There's not much in that, in my opinion. But I think Reece just edges it for his defensive work. But yeah, we'll see.
We're never going to agree on that.
Why didn't Trent go to the Euros?
Because he was injured.
Oh yeah,
he was actually nailed on to go, wasn't he? He ended up getting his spot, didn't he? And then he picked injury up in the final friendly.
Yeah, he played 90 minutes against, I think it was one of the last friendlies or something, and he got injured, didn't he?
There's a lot of talk about him not going at the start, wasn't it? And then he was going, then he got injured.
Yeah, there was 4 right backs he picked at one point, but just before we move on, obviously Breffen again's put his combined 11 in, so see what you see with this one. You guys see that?
Yeah.
Oh wow, Trent. Alisson, Trent, Van Dijk, Rudiger,
Hendo,
Fabinho, Kante, Henderson, Salah, Lukaku, Mount. I mean, he's putting Mount ahead of Mane, which is an interesting one. I wouldn't, like Ben says, I wouldn't put Henderson in there.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's not a bad team.
It's not a bad team. That's what I mean. The both teams have so much quality that it's going to be impossible to pick a combined 11, and everyone's going to have different opinions because both teams are that good. Because if you think the players we've mentioned, no one mentioned Firmino, Jota, Thiago, Konate. I know we've not seen him, but we didn't really speak about him. Chilwell for Chelsea. There's a lot of players there that didn't even get looked at. Matip, Thiago Silva. Yeah. So there's so many players that Kovacic as well for us. Like, so many players didn't even get mentioned. So both teams are that good that I think it's never going to be something that's going to be agreed on, to be honest.
Stephen, one question for you, right? Well, it's not really a question, but you signed Thiago, and when I first saw him, when you signed him, he was like, he came in. I think it was against Crystal Palace. I think I watched it. Yeah, he was so good. But what's going on with him? I'm not really hearing much about him.
He came back late, obviously from the Euros, then got injured. So obviously he was already playing catch-up. I think he came back a week before the season was due to start after he got injured and stuff like that. So I think mainly he's just not up to match speed as of yet. But I think it would be a risk, obviously, if he played. But once he's fully fit, I would say, when you look at it, our strongest midfield three, I would say, would be Fabinho, Henderson and Thiago. That's definitely our strongest midfield three. But he's just obviously just not got match fitness as of yet. I'll give him a couple of games and he'll be back because he's a world class player.
I like him.
Yeah, he was unreal at Bayern.
So I
just don't think he's lived up to the same level that he was at Bayern. I don't think he's quite lived up to that yet, but I still think it will come. Like you say, he's got to get that fitness up and stuff like that. But he was so good to watch at Bayern.
Yeah.
So as you can see, obviously I know we're only 2 games in, coming up with the 3rd now, but season so far, Ben, how are you seeing Chelsea's season so far?
People have obviously tipped us to win the league this year. Like a lot of whoever, like you hear Simon Jordan on the on TalkSport, he's tipping Chelsea to win the league. Like people I've had on the channel, they're all saying I can't see it because I'm one of these fans where I don't go too far ahead of myself. I'm not going to judge it out of 2 games that we're going to go and win the league. But I think signing Lukaku, I think, is a massive step towards it. But I think let's have it right. Our first choice is always Haaland. But I heard today on the radio like that his demands, like his agent, he's got like a tricky agent or something, and he wanted like stupid money. So obviously,
it was like 50 million a year, I think it was.
Yeah, it's something stupid. But then, and and then obviously Lukaku's coming in. So I think it pushes us close, but I still just think we're a little bit short. Maybe, but it's one of them where we could go and beat you lot on Saturday, and then I think, we're gonna win it. It's one of them ones, so close, so tight. But I think this game on Saturday is huge. Like if we win this, I think Chelsea fans will start thinking, right, we're proper now. Like we're a team. Yeah. But as you said, first 2 games, I've been really impressed with every player on the pitch, really, and I don't think he's going to change it. For Liverpool, I think we're going to go in with the same team. One player that stood out for me is Havertz. I don't know why I'm obsessed with him at the moment, because last season I was a bit like I don't think he's going to live up to this name that he had, but I can slowly start seeing it now, especially in the Arsenal game. Just it's not even it's just little things, like little pockets that he can take up, and they always seem to pass him, and he just lays it off. And I think Lukaku is the main thing in that, because obviously they've got an outlet now to go to Lukaku. So I think 2 games in, 6 points, clean sheet. Like you can't say anything, can you really?
Can you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to win the league.
You want to add? Anything you want to add on that?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same as what Ben said. Like you can't really complain. 2 wins, 2 clean sheets, 2 comfortable victories. But like you said about with the whole conversation about people tipping us to win the league, if you're tipping us to win the league, you got to tip Brighton to win the league, because they won their first 2 games as well. So I remember saying the other day. No. I'm not saying I'm tipping them to win the league, but I think the people that are saying that because Chelsea have won their first 2 games, they're going to be favourites. But like the example is Brighton have won their first 2 games. So I think they're
thinking about who we bought in though and stuff like that. Like we've obviously we won the Champions League,
but I think
now we strengthened with Lukaku. Like we're
no, I get that. But I have spoke to a couple of people that think because we've won our first 2 games and won them comfortably, that we're just going to play that every week, and it's not, because like you say, we're 2 games into it. It's hard to judge. I've always been one, especially in the last couple of seasons, where there's been like one team ends up running away with it after Christmas and New Year. I've always kind of been one to not really judge much until the New Year. But I have a feeling that this season could go down to like, you can't call it until May. Like I feel like it could be. I'm hoping as a football fan, like Chelsea bias aside, as a football fan, I would love it to go down to the last day and for there to be 4 teams that can win the league. Like it's because that's the excitement of the game and obviously all that sort of stuff. But obviously,
mate, for me, if we have it wrapped up by November, I'm buzzing.
November. Obviously as Chelsea bias, if we can wrap it up like April, May time, I'm buzzing with that. But I think it's that good. The quality is that good. City, Chelsea, Liverpool, United. Don't discount Leicester either. I don't think they'll be in the title race, but they're always there or thereabouts in the top 4. So I think it could be the case of at New Year's you could have 5 teams that are all 2-3 points in between each other. So I think it's going to be a really, really tight season. But as Ben said, as the season's gone so far, you can't really complain, really. And it's a similar sort of thing for you as well, I'd imagine, being a Liverpool fan. Both teams 2 wins, 2 clean sheets. So it's the perfect start, really.
Brings us on nicely to the next topic here. So just before I obviously ask this question, where will you obviously finish come May? There is just a comment in here, and I just want to get your take on it. Obviously, where you're not being Liverpool fans. I don't know if you've seen the BBC pundits and the predictions of where the teams are going to finish. So just Breffin again, thanks for the question. Great question. So far, LFC have been so good, and funny how pundits have all predicted that we will finish 4th, but forget that many players coming back from injuries are more like new signings. Chelsea, good test for us. So, guys, I'll just put that out to there. I mean, what first of all, did you see the predictions that the BBC pundits said? And realistically, where do you expect both Chelsea and Liverpool to finish this season?
I saw some of them, yeah. I think I saw a lot of them put Liverpool in like 4th, at the bottom of the top 4. I agree with what that fella says, to be fair. I think with Van Dijk coming back, that's, considering he's up for all last season, that probably will feel like a new signing when he hits his form again. Gomez as well, he's supposed to be coming back from injury at some point. So yeah, I would agree with him, but I don't think Liverpool finished fourth. I think they might finish third, to be honest. I think City are going to win the league. I just think City are too strong, and I think Pep's just that good that he just seems to pick it up like out of the blue. Like they were sitting down in 10th a couple of months into last season and ended up going on this ridiculous winning streak and winning the league. So I think, like I said before, it's going to be so close. But I personally think Chelsea will finish second. I think we'll come in just short.
Okay.
But I think it's going to be that tight that we could finish fourth, third, or second, or top, all come like the end of May. It could be that tight.
Okay. Ben?
I didn't see the predictions actually.
No.
So saying Liverpool come fourth I think that's a bit harsh, really. Yeah. Like with the team you've got as well. Like who did they say come first? Man United or something?
No, they said I think it was between sort of you and Man City. I think.
Right.
Mainly between sort of Chelsea and Man City, and then they had a couple had Manchester United finishing second, I think, or third, and the majority had Liverpool to finish fourth. So, I
think it's all about like how you progress, isn't it? But I think obviously I think they look at like who they've bought in and stuff. Obviously, Man United have bought in Sancho, Varane, but then again they've still got Ollie as their manager. So I can't like that's why Liverpool I think will finish above them because you've got a top class manager. I still don't rate Ollie. If they bought in like a Antonio Conte or something, I would say they could probably win the league because they've got Ollie. I just don't see they're obviously a threat, but I don't see them as big as they could be. Man City, I do think they're strong, but I think we've got the upper hand on them, aren't we, Matt? When we play them normally, we beat them 3 out of 3
in recent,
You say about Pep and all that, but he ain't won the Champions League yet, has he? With all that money he spent, he won Premier Leagues, but he needs so much money. Like he's got. Go on.
I think I was going to say quickly the thing between the top. So the top 4 everyone thinks is going to be is City, Chelsea, United, Liverpool. Not in that order, but just those top 4 teams. The managers, you got Tuchel, Pep, and Klopp, who no one can dispute. They are 3 of the best managers in the world. In what they do, they are just ridiculous at the minute. And I think just quickly back onto the United thing you were saying, Ben. A lot of people saying United need a defensive midfielder to sort of fix their problems. I actually think the manager's their problem. To be fair, I think he's not got that sort of this. Yeah, he's not done badly, but he's bottled how many semi-finals, how many finals it's been now.
Put it this way: if he was at Chelsea, he'd been sacked.
If he was at any of those other 3 clubs, I think he'd get sacked already because I don't think Chelsea, except like if Tuchel was to finish outside of the top 4 this season and not win a trophy, he's gone. Chelsea would get rid of him.
We got sorry after he won the Europa League.
Yeah, exactly. That's how brutal it is.
Yeah.
But I would also say I think Pep, Tuchel or Klopp win the league with that Man United team that's there at the minute.
Agreed.
I think all 3 of them can win the league with that Man United team, but I don't think Ollie can because I don't think he's on that same level as those 3.
Are you saying the Man United team's better than our teams?
No, I don't think Man United's team is on paper better than ours, but but when Tuchel came into us, we were the 9th best team in the league, and he made us perform like one of the best teams in the league. And I think Tuchel, Klopp, and Pep go into that team. They play slightly different tactics. They play a slightly different way of playing, and that can make all the difference to a team. If I use the best example I know is Jorginho, like I mentioned on the video last night. Before Tuchel came in, people wanted Jorginho gone from the club because no one really rated him. As soon as you switch up that play and sort of base it around that player, he goes and wins UEFA Player of the Year. So it's
Yeah, we've seen
It's
it multiple times.
different managers. Yeah, different managers can
with
get different
Lampard,
things out of players.
Lampard goes, Tuchel comes in, we progress.
Yeah.
You see at Arsenal at the minute, Arteta, you can just tell he's not there. And like people, they think because he was under like Pep, like he would come in and sort of do the same sort of style. He's not there. And I don't know how Arsenal haven't got rid of him. That's why they're in the mud. But if they bought in like an Antonio Conte, like they're linked with him, and aren't they? I think he'd probably take them up to 5th, 4th, maybe challenging 4th.
It wouldn't surprise me because I actually don't think Arsenal have got that bad of a squad. Their squad's pretty decent, and like you say, I think if Conte or again, if we talk about the top 3 in the league, if Tuchel, Pep, and Klopp are at Arsenal, again, I think Arsenal are in the top 4 battle, potentially even higher because their squad's decent. But it's the manager that lets them down, and I think it's going to be the same thing for Man United. I think it will be the manager that lets them down, and they've got a lot of pressure on them this year, especially them, because they've been there or thereabouts for like 2 or 3 years now, and I think the pressure's really on them to push higher, which could benefit us, or it could work for them. But no, I think Chelsea will finish 2nd. To be fair.
Okay. No problem. We'll just briefly go on to the predictions, and then we'll go on to just quickly touch upon the Champions League draw, because there is a question on the Champions League draws in there as well. So, Ben, first of all, I'll come to you. Prediction. What score are you going for?
Saturday.
Yes, for Saturday. Sorry.
1-0. I think 1-0. I think Lukaku scores. Kai Havertz.
All right, okay. Fair enough.
I just think it's going to be a close game. I'd love it to be like a 3-0 win, but I think it's going to be like a close game, tight. One mistake wins the game, I think. I'd hate to say go back to the Denver Bar one.
Yeah. No. Why did you have to mention that? Honestly. Quickly for you, Matt, what score are you going for? I really hope Trent scores right in front of the Chelsea fans and goes and celebrates just right in front of you.
I think 2-1 Chelsea. I think Lukaku and Mount score for us. I think Salah gets a goal for you, but I think it will be like 1-1 going into the last sort of 15-20 minutes, and then I think Chelsea will switch it up and nick a late goal. Up the Chelsea. Come on, the boys.
You know, my favourite ever goal, and this is so true, was when Hazard scored it in, I think it was a cup game. He went to players and smashed it straight in the bottom corner.
He made Liverpool's defence look like a bunch of cinnamon buns, mate. That was a joke, mate. That was actually a joke, mate. That was unreal. Unreal.
I'm going for 2-1. Obviously, I'm going to stick by my team. I think it will be a tight game.
Come on, you don't have to.
No.
Didn't you DM me earlier saying 2-1 Chelsea? You think?
No, definitely not, mate. No, 2-1 Liverpool all the way. No, Salah and Jota for me, and I think Lukaku will score. Probably a tap in, but the all counts. And I think Liverpool will just have too much with a home advantage. We can't obviously leave it without going on to the Champions League draw. Who do you think? I know we briefly touched upon before we went live. Who do you think's got the hardest group in the Champions League with regards to all 4 of the Premier League teams that are in? Ben, I'll come to you first, mate.
Probably City. I'd say City because obviously they got PSG, ain't they? They got Leipzig. I think Leipzig and PSG, they're probably two of the top teams. Obviously, Leipzig ain't got Timo Werner no more, so they're a bit weaker. But I think Man City have got a tough group. I'm just looking at it now. Actually, I think Chelsea's group's pretty nice. To be fair, I think your group's tough.
Yeah,
I think it's Liverpool's.
Obviously, you got Atletico, you got Porto, you got AC Milan. I think that. Yeah. I don't think AC Milan were what they were, but
no.
Porto, I don't know. Porto aren't great either. To be fair, we played them last year, didn't we? But Atletico will be a tough game. We beat both of them actually, Porto and Atletico in the same run. But Atletico was so poor. Even though they won the La Liga, I was really disappointed when we played them. God, they were shocking.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd probably say your group or PSG's. Obviously, you got Bayern Munich and Barcelona in the same group as well. That'd be a good game.
Yeah, that would be a
I
good
think
one.
they were pretty like evenly matched. I wouldn't say there's a real tough group there.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
I think if you're looking out of the top of the English teams, I would say Liverpool probably have the toughest group out of the four, because I think as much as Liverpool and Atletico are stronger than Porto and AC Milan, I think they also do have the potential to be like a bogey side for those clubs, because in their own grounds, they've obviously got the atmosphere and the fans will all be back in the ground and whatever else. I think those kind of teams are the ones I think you kind of almost have to be a bit more wary than the actual bigger side in the group. But like Ben said, I'm quite happy with Chelsea's group. I mean, we could have ended up in a group with PSG and Leipzig or Ajax. So I think we've been drawn a nice group. But then I also don't mind the fact that we've got Juventus, who are obviously a top level club. If Ronaldo stays, I'll definitely be trying to get tickets to that game just so I can see Ronaldo play live, because that's just, as much as obviously you want to go and support your team, watching the likes of like Messi, Ronaldo play live, it's just different gear. So, but yeah,
Ronaldo, maybe got quite
Havertz. Should have a lot of love for Kai Havertz today, Ben, aren't you?
I hope he scores on Saturday. I'll be willing to come back on.
No.
We'll come back on if he scores.
Just to touch upon this question as well, just before we close. Funny how no, it's not that one actually. Sorry, this one above here. Does Chelsea, Liverpool, City, United Champions League group stage affect the EPL predictions, because it seems all teams have challenging groups? Can it affect the EPL performances? So basic reference, just asking there, obviously with regards to the groups being quite tough, do you think that form is going to affect the Premier League in any way?
I think for those three teams, I think I'd probably say we for Chelsea, probably not, because like we were mentioning just before about our squad depth, I think we have enough players where we could field two good enough teams that could win a Champions League game and then win a Premier League game on the weekend. So I think we've got that like bulked up of a squad that the options we have in all the positions, we could field two teams that are both strong enough to win a Champions League game on the Wednesday and then a Premier League game on the weekend. I think Man United, I'd probably say not so much. I don't think they've got that same level of squad depth as Chelsea and Man City have. And I don't think Man United have good enough players they could field a team on a Wednesday and then a team on a Saturday, and both of those teams be strong enough to compete in those games. And I think it's similar with Liverpool, but I think Liverpool are in a bit of a better position than United, where they've got stronger players to bring off the bench. For me, anyway, that's what I think.
No problem. Yeah. Well, we're just going to close it up now. What were you going to say? Something there? Sorry, Ben, mate.
I was going to say, no doubt we'll hear Klopp moaning about it, wouldn't we?
He'll claim they're playing rugby or something like he did the other week, or was that Ollie? Whichever one it was.
No, it was.
It was
claiming they're playing rugby. What is that about?
It was the smackdown on Jota, wasn't it? Where he just, I think it was Ashley Barnes or whatever, just threw him to the floor. He picked him up and threw him to the floor. So I think that's what he was referring to.
I will buy Jurgen Klopp and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer tickets to a rugby game, and they can go and watch an actual rugby game and see if it's going down that lane, because that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. To say,
I think they can afford one themselves, to be fair.
I think, they could take me, but I think to claim that football's turning into rugby, I think that's a bit far fetched for sure. Like, I think that's the way that some of these players go down. Salah, Salah, Fernandez. I'm not discounting it. Drogba used to do it a lot back in the day as well. The way they go down, I think it's pathetic, really. But to say that it's turning into rugby is a bit of a poor statement. That, I think, my opinion, anyway.
Just touching on here, Varun, thanks for obviously coming on. Love the stream. Appreciate it, mate. If you are new, just please make sure you like and subscribe as well. But anything, Ben, Matt, that you want to add on just before we close up?
Chelsea going to
good.
win the league. Up the Chelsea. Come on, the boys.
League.
No, so obviously, like I said at the start, Ben, where can we find your channel there? Is it just on Twitter?
we just
if you can explain.
YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, really. SW at SW6 Lions TV. That's all. And then my
Same with
social.
you, Matt.
Go on.
And same with you, Matt. Where can we find you?
Mine's just Twitter at MattHoggett14, and then obviously I'm helping Ben out with the YouTube channel as well. So yeah, that's the Twitter. So yeah, I'm trying to build up my followers on there. So hopefully I can get a few more.
Just a quick one before we go. I'm going to put one on you. Where do you think you're going to come next year? Because you ain't answered that one. This season, sorry.
Where do we think we're going to finish? If all the players stay fit, and it's a big if.
18th.
If all the players stay fit, like I said, it's a big if, but there's no reason why we won't be up there challenging the likes of you guys in City. So
pick a position.
Go on.
If all our players stay fit, I'm going to back the lads to bring home another league title. So I would.
Yeah, guys.
If our players.
I'm off. See ya. Oh no way.
Honestly, I can see it happening, but yeah, there's no reason why not. I mean, we finished 18 points ahead of Man City when we won the league, so that was with a fully fit squad. Man City only had Laporte out, and they went to shit. So there's no reason why not. I mean, there's a good saying, form is temporary, class is permanent, and you couldn't be much truer than that. I mean, you're not a bad squad overnight or anything like that. So there's no reason why Liverpool can't win the league again this season. But I'd agree with you, Matt, though, that it is going to be a close one. There is going to be, like I said, the likes of Chelsea and Man City obviously going up against it. So obviously may the best team win. Hopefully it's Liverpool. And just to let you know a bit about our channel, obviously the Red Sea podcast, what we've got coming up. We've got Liverpool Chelsea preview tomorrow, 9:30. 9:30 tomorrow night. Then we've got the transfer deadline day on Tuesday. And I think I'll be doing another one of these maybe on Thursday as well. But yeah, have you got anything coming up, Ben, on your channel?
No, we've just got previews coming up and stuff like that. Nothing massive, but it'll be a good one.
No problem. Well, Ben, Matt, appreciate you coming on.
No worries, mate.
I would say good luck for Saturday, but you're going to
say may the best team win. May the best team win. And they will.
They're playing red, so.
Okay.
We'll keep in contact anyway.
No, definitely, mate.
Yeah, for sure.
But
we'll have to do
appreciate
it when
it.
you're coming to Stamford Bridge.
Yeah, definitely. Whenever, mate. I'll be up for that.
Love that.
But and obviously until next time, like I say, I've been Stat Man Stubbs, being joined by SW6 Lion TV and Matt as well. But as always, please stay safe, and thanks very much for your time and pleasure again today.
No worries. Up the Chelsea.
Up the Chelsea. Come on, the boys.
Into them.